Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
And Danny, you're a Toronto guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you identify yourself as a Leafs fan?
I do, but I'm not sure Leafs fans would allow it anymore.
Because you've been gone so long?
Yeah, and to be honest, the Leafs have broken me. I'm 37 years old. It's been a long time since the Leafs have been good, and you know, I know you were talking with Theo yesterday. I am at the point where, like, the Leafs need to win me back. Win one playoff series, and I'll come back. But
good for you for recognizing that. Most Leaf fans don't.
I have this problem where I truly was more of a basketball fan growing up, and I need something because I feel like 2019, the Raptors won the championship, and I got all I needed out of sports. So my fandom, I'm now very much a reporter. And I don't necessarily engage. I got my adult championship, so I would love for the Leafs to pull me back in. But honestly, it's deeply frustrating. And the fact is, you know, I do feel the same way about the Flames, but win a playoff series before I start believing it.
They need to win you back.
Win one series. One series.
It won't take much, will it?
It won't take much, but until literally they are skating out there for the second round, I just will not believe in the Toronto Maple Leafs because they've let me down so many times, including last season. You know,
well, of course. I'll be jumping into the chat in a second. We welcome your questions and comments. The reason I ask if Danny's a Leafs fan, being a Torontonian, born and raised, but now living in Calgary, Austin Matthews has been close to 50 goals before. Agonizingly close, in fact. The COVID-19 panic, however, has had other ideas. The Leaf star, though, now poised once again to become Toronto's first player to reach the milestone, 50 goals in a season, since Dave Andreychuk scored 53 back in 93-94.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
He's laughing at the fact I said I still get nervous every time I interview Connor Bedard. I do. I don't care. Who knows? He's 16. I'm 49. I've done thousands of interviews. The kid's eyes just pierce right through you. Oh, boy, I love watching him. It's the biggest reason why this jersey's up here.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Here we go. We are underway. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to a Flame Tech Football Friday. We are originating live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. We are situated at the Stage Bar before a live studio audience, and I hope that you're ready to be taken into the weekend by yours truly here on episode number 714 of your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. We welcome our good and longtime friend Mark Steven to the program, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders. How you doing, Marcus?
Good. Great setting, great day, and looking forward to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're okay talking about a few other things besides football, I assume?
Oh, yeah. No, trust me, I've been locked in on the Flames, who are the talk of the city, and for that matter, talk of the NHL, I think.
They are. They absolutely are. So, Mark's going to be with us for the full 2 hours. I can't thank him enough. I may ply him with a casino buffet if you're down. You really enjoyed that last one, eh, Mark?
Because it's good.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Really good.
Calgary,
that's why, not hard. It's
Calgary's best buffet.
Yeah.
On the way, Tory Gurley, our NFL insider, the Browns and Packers alum, to talk about a wild week in the National Football League. And Mike Wilner, the longtime host of Jays Talk, now the Toronto Star. Mike Wilner will be with us to talk about the fact that baseball's back. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan, if you don't mind? Thank you. So, number one, I'm opening with this. Forgive me. This is more for the Saskatchewan curling fans than anything. The expanded 6-team Brier playoff format begins today. It's underway with Brad Gushu and Kevin Cooey enjoying byes after first-place finishes in their round-robin pools. Brendan Botcher and Brad Jacobs have also firmed up their playoff spots, and the remaining positions are being determined as we speak with tiebreakers at the NMAX Center. Mike McEwen meets Jason Gunlison in an all-Manitoba clash, and Saskatchewan ranks squaring off Colton Flash facing Matt Dunn. Dunstone. So I'm just basically saying goodbye to our Saskatchewan and Manitoba viewers, Mark. You understand, because they're on right now. And the last report I had, Flash leading Dunstone 4-2. They're playing the fifth end. And Gunlison leading McEwen 6-2. They're playing the sixth end. So that's live right now on TSN. So I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Well, the curling fans are over there.
It's still one of the great mysteries in sports. How come they've gone 42 years in Saskatchewan without a Brier title?
Curling gods, that's all I can think. We've done something to
I mean, I know there's been some great rinks in Manitoba, great rinks in Alberta, but I'm stunned. Yeah, it's half a century
And
almost.
Cooey's now going after his fifth.
Yep.
Look what he's done in that time.
Yep.
I don't know, Mark. It's a Saskatchewan thing. That's point one. Point two, the Major League Baseball lockout has ended. 99 days after a divided Players Association accepted management's offer to salvage a 162-game season that'll start now April 7th. With the lockout lifted, MLB can get back to its always busy offseason with free agents able to begin signing new contracts again. So our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center with dealerships all across the prairies, including Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Regina. Where will the Blue Jays finish in this 2022 season? First, second, third, or fourth or lower? Mark, I'm fairly new to the Calgary scene. Please tell me, where do the Blue Jays rate on the sports scene here?
Well, I'd say that people pay attention to them, but I don't think it's must-see. I know when they get into the stretch run, people talk about them, but when people talk baseball, they do talk Blue Jays, so I'd say they're fairly prominent. I mean, we do get all the games, and you sit down at 5 o'clock here during the summer and watch the bulk of their games, so what baseball is talked about is Blue Jays, for sure.
Well, I had to have my memory jigged, and I can't remember who did. I think it was Ken Reed, whom you would know, spent some time here.
Yep.
Not the skier, the broadcaster.
Oh, I know, I know. I'm sure he had to go through that every day. But
oh, yeah, it still does, I think. But he said when this lockout was on, he said we're being robbed of watching the Vladdy Jr., the Kevin Biggio, and Bo Bichette. And I'm like, yes, we are. So then it kind of ticked me off. Now they're back. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? How would you vote on that poll for the Blue Jays?
Fourth.
Yeah? Boo.
Need a new manager.
Piss.
Come on. How does that manager with that kind of a lineup, they missed the playoffs last year. They went through about 30 guys in the bullpen. They got to change managers. Sorry, this guy just didn't get it done. I'm shocked he's back, to tell you the truth. Maybe he's great in the clubhouse. He's great with this, great with that. I just look at the results. I see results subpar for a team with that kind of lineup.
Where's Rick Regan on that one? How about that? From Mark Steve. Well,
Bingo!
See, I thought that, Mark, but I didn't want to say it. How do you get away with these things? I say these outlandish things, and I get in so much trouble. Not that that's outlandish.
I don't think I believe the last year, and all this stuff at the end of last great. They just came close. They just missed. They shouldn't have just missed. They should have had that thing locked in months ago. That kind of a lineup that doesn't come along very often. So no, I'm not in the dressing room. All I can do is look at the results. They aren't good enough for a lineup like that.
Well, I'm with you. I feel like we're sitting out here watching it outside of Toronto. The people in Toronto, though, are in the forest of the trees, and they can't really see it. So they made the playoffs 2 years ago, as you know, and got swept by Tampa. Well, they weren't even close.
No.
And then this last year, they went down to the final day. But I'm kind of with you. They should be better. I don't know why they get a pass.
Not here. I'm sorry. He might be a great guy. I'm not, let me just flip this the other way, and I acknowledge it's a different situation. What does superior coaching do to the Calgary Flames? Thank you.
Flip them on their head.
You bet.
Or the other way.
So that's what I say. But I thought this long before even Daryl Sutter was hired. Never been a fan. As I say, maybe a great guy in the dressing room. He might get along with everybody. Maybe he reads all the analytics reports every day and does. I don't know. I just look at a lineup like that they shouldn't be scrambling for their playoff lives.
I'm with you, Mark. And by the way, from the viewers, as I slide into the chat here, Ryan H. watching in Toronto says, hello, squad. Sounds like it's going to be another great show today. Jason in Red Deer says, see, Rod, I brought up the Jays and got you and Danny all heated up about the lockout. Next day, it's over. The RPShow bump. Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
To NHL leftovers from Thursday night. I don't think I'm going to get to all the games because there were a lot of games. But in Toronto, Jacob Chychrun scored his second goal of the game at 2:17 of overtime to lift Arizona past Toronto 5-4. Arizona recovered for its fourth straight win.
Wow.
Yeah, after blowing a 4-1 lead in the third, Austin Matthews scored his NHL-leading 44th goal. And here in Calgary, Johnny Gaudreau had his sixth career hat trick to extend his point streak to 7 games and help Calgary beat Tampa Bay 4-1. I assume you watched the game?
You bet.
Yeah.
It's a must-see TV here, and he's just amazing. He's now in the Hart Trophy conversation. I don't know where he's going to stand, but, he's only 5 points off the scoring lead, and at the pace he's producing points, he might win the thing. I don't know, but he's having a remarkable season, and, the big question will be in the offseason, keep him here. I think he wants to be here. They want him here, but it's going to cost a lot. Goes up every game, it seems.
Okay, Mark, couple things on this. Secondary poll. Who's the toughest interview in sports? Bill Belichick, Daryl Sutter, Greg Popovich, or other? Because I'm listening to the postgame show. I don't want to interview Daryl. I would not want to interview, or any of those guys.
Yeah, probably Greg Popovich. Because I think,
you think so?
You know why? I think he's playing with people. He knows what he's doing. That's the difference.
Okay.
Daryl's just low-key. But if you listen to him, he's very, very sharp. I'm talking about Daryl Sutter. Don't know much about Bill Belichick except, why use a word. All he does is parcel his words out there one at a time. That's about it.
Well, the thing, I get a kick out of Daryl because I know the personal Daryl.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to the postgame. It's live last night, and they're saying, well, what'd you think about the game, Daryl? Yep, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's...
What'd you think about the play of your goalie? He's good.
Yeah. I don't know.
Made some good saves.
Yeah.
It's not fun, Mark, to do those interviews.
You just listen to him, though. Maybe after a game, but between games, he says
fine.
A lot.
Yeah.
He says a lot in a very short time.
Listen, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to interview him.
I guess so, yeah.
But he said with Johnny Gaudreau. Somebody said, what about the play of Johnny Gaudreau? Last year, I said he's one of the best players. You guys said he wasn't one of the best players.
He plays that us versus them mentality. He's pretty good at that. But,
seems to work.
Yep.
So Lanny McDonald sat in that chair on Tuesday, and he said that, can't remember if it was on the air or off, but he said a Toronto-Calgary Stanley Cup final would be something. You don't think so?
Well, it'd be something, but a lot of things would have to happen between now and then. Toronto's got to get out of the first round. I mean, they're going to play likely, not for sure, Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got 4 games in them against Tampa. I think it'd be a good series, but I'm not prepared to say they're the favorite. That's just me.
I had said a Vegas-Florida Stanley Cup, and Vegas has fallen right off the map.
Yeah.
When are we going to start talking about that?
That's a good point. They really have. To me, they look like they're high skill, but a little short on will. They're not that tough to play against, like determined to play against. Or something's off with them, because I'm with you. That's a team that I think a lot of folks had as a Stanley Cup finalist, or at least a conference finalist. They aren't there now, and who knows? There's still time. They're going to make the playoffs, and maybe they do something at the trade deadline. They've not been shy about making deals. We'll see.
I'm saying still Florida in the Stanley Cup final, but I have no problem with a Calgary-Florida Stanley Cup, particularly with the fact I'll be going back and forth between the two markets. Ethan Bear, our good friend Ethan Bear, the pride of Ochapowace First Nation in Saskatchewan, scored with 5:40 to go, and Sebastian Aho added an empty netter to help Carolina beat Colorado 2-0 Thursday. In Buffalo, Craig Anderson stopped 30 shots to win his 300th career game, and Buffalo beat Vegas 3-1 with former Sabres captain Jack Eichel mostly booed in his first visit back. In Sunrise, Sam Reinhart had his 6th career hat trick. Carter Verhaeghe scored twice, and Florida beat Philadelphia 7-4 for its 5th straight win. Jonathan Huberdeau and Aaron Ekblad each had 4 assists for Florida. I'm going to stop there and move into football, which is point 4. Number 1, CFL Combine, if you care. Linebacker Jared Beeksma, defensive backs Adrian Green and Zach Herzog, and defensive lineman Enoch Penny-Laria have advanced through the Ontario Regional Combine presented by New Era. The question, of course, would be, do you care? I remember, Mark, years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, you calling this the Underwear Olympics. I don't assume you've changed.
No. It's testing. They wear their underwear. They run around, jump, and test. And good for them. We'll see what happens. Obviously, it's very, very important to all the teams to restock their Canadian content. As you say, it's a little short on big names, and but eventually they become big names, right? If they do well at that and get drafted high and have success with their teams, they become big names. But today, they're guys that have a very limited range, but that could change.
From the chat, Jeff the Stamps fan says, Mark Steven doesn't sugarcoat things. We keep it real in Calgary. That's from Jeff the Stamps fan. There you go. Well, let's be honest. You have been the voice of the Cadillac franchise of the CFL for the last 20 years. It hasn't been that hard. What do you got to say that's so controversial?
Yeah, well, that's the point. All these other people that have done it, I've had just a fabulous time watching some of the greatest teams and greatest players. It's pretty easy to be up with it. I would be anyway. It's fun to be in the stadium no matter where it is. But, yeah, all these great teams and great players. I mean, the Hall of Fame ceremony's coming up in June, just before Hamilton's home opener, which coincidentally is the Stampeders' first road game. It's heavy Stampeders. And,
and the Hall of Fame is the night before in Hamilton, right? That'll be fun.
Oh, will it ever? So many people. Nick Lewis, Henry Burrs, John Huffnagel, Fred Childress, Will Johnson, and Doug Mitchell, who's an owner. So
that's a great time for Hank because the Bears shouldn't be doing anything at that time. I don't know. Maybe NFL coaches.
What is Henry doing? I got to figure that out because the Bears kind of
shuffled a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah. Good team, Mark and I feel. Wayne in Victoria says, I agree with Mark on a lot of things. Have to go right for Toronto versus Calgary Stanley Cup. I would love to see it, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think Toronto has a far, far more pothole-filled road to the Stanley Cup than, not the Flames have it easy, but if you rank the top 5 teams, would you put Tampa and Florida in the top 5?
I do have them in the top 5. Yeah. I do not have Toronto anywhere near the top 5.
That's the issue, yeah.
Yeah. Just to tag that CFL Regional Combine story from the CFL. In the 2020 CFL Draft, linebacker Jordan Williams, who advanced through the Ontario Regional Combine, was selected first overall by the BC Lions. So, yeah, there are some diamonds in the rough, and he was a tremendous player.
He is good. He's really good, yeah.
From East Carolina?
Yes, that's right. That's where it is. And, he jumped. I voted for him Rookie of the Year. I'll just lay it on the line because he just jumped in there. It looked like he'd been there all of his life, not his first game. And remember, he had a year off like everybody else did, but he just plugged himself right in. I think he's tremendous.
A very engaging personality.
Yes,
we had him on this show.
Yes, he is, yeah.
And I guess my last point, we'll get to NFL a little later with Mark, but the USFL, before the CFL kicks off, it even gets going with training camp, the USFL will be, if they finish a season. I see Jim Barker saying on 3 Down Nation that I'll believe it when I see it. I think we're all going to be watching, are we not, as football fans? Or will you not watch?
Oh, I'll watch, but I'm with Jim. A lot of people jump and get all excited about all these alphabet soup leagues that come up. Play a season. Whatever. The American sports public has made it known that football is basically Labor Day or just a little bit before, through the end of the Super Bowl. Friday nights is high school, Saturday is college, Sunday is professional. That's how they roll, and there's no market outside of that. There are some exceptions, I grant you, but it's a tough sell, and I say an impossible sell. But we'll see.
Well, I've gotten this question from folks recently, and they're saying, why do you think spring pro leagues can't last? And I don't honestly have the answer to that.
That mine is it's just not in the rhythm of the American sports public. Once the Super Bowl ends, the NBA, NHL season cranks up. March Madness, they're going to start Selection Sunday this weekend. That's the one thing people say, Sports Canada, U.S., college sports and the magnitude of the college football playoffs and the NCAA tournament, the biggest difference. It's just enormous. It's all
not enough room for them, is what you're saying, for an XFL and a USFL. Okay, well, there you go. How about that? That's why we have Mark here. So when we come back, we'll engage the viewers even more. We'll get into some of this NFL stuff because it's been a wild week. It is a Football Friday for Flame Tech, and you are watching on Game Plus TV Network live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino Stage Bar, and also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back. With special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RPShow gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RPShow gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You are looking at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. That is the resort. We're over here in the casino, which, by the way, tonight at the Event Center, an absolute sellout for comedian, female impersonator Bianca Del Rio, and I'll be in attendance with the sold-out crowd over here at the Event Center. Mark, we're back rocking. Sold-out events here. Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah.
In the
nice.
city, in Alberta? Yeah.
Yep. Well, I know there's a lot of debate about what restrictions should be and shouldn't be in place. There comes a point where we just have to decide for ourselves, right?
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, beating that drum. But I'll tell you, for those coming to the Bianca Del Rio show tonight, if you're offended easily, stay home. I saw her at the Center of the Arts, and whoo-wee. So I'm looking forward to the show tonight.
A little asbestos in the room there, huh?
Absolutely. So before we get to the NFL stuff and a little more CFL, Mark Stephen, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders, said in the break, how about the verbal grenade lobbed by Jack Eichel in Buffalo last night after the game, which the Sabres beat his Golden Knights 3-1 in his first return? Take it away, Mark. What would you like to say?
Well, I'm just going to say, so often when a player leaves, they come back, warm, fuzzy feelings. Just do a tribute video on that. Not so for Jack Eichel. At the time, he just thought it was a legitimate difference of view. As it turns out, obviously there was a heck of a lot of tension there and him getting out of Buffalo. So he decided he would leave by throwing his stink bomb on center ice and taking off. So
it's kind of unfortunate when that happens, isn't it? And the one thing about Buffalo, I'm sure you've been there, it has a small town feel, right?
Yeah.
Despite the fact it's an NFL city and an NHL city, it has a small town feel. And I just feel like there was clearly tensions between Eichel and the Sabres.
And the
not
fans,
Buffalo. Yeah, the Sabres.
Yeah.
But the fans picked up on that.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yep, that's totally fair. Yeah, in Buffalo, I've talked to guys that have played there. It's a fantastic hockey market. As soon as that team becomes competitive, look out. It would be on par with just about any Canadian city. It's still, the way it was described to me, they love the Sabres, they live the Bills. That's Buffalo. So
they live with it. They survive the Bills.
Yeah, they live the Bills. Everything the Bills do is life and death, but they love the Sabres.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Yeah, Bills much bigger.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I saw the signs from people in the rink last night. Hey, Eichel, thanks for nothing. Stuff like that. Again, 7 years, it's unfortunate, but it happens. Now to the National Football League, and Tory Gurley's coming up next segment to dig even deeper, but here's the latest. Since the disappointing end to last season, LA Chargers general manager Tom Telesco and coach Brandon Staley have discussed upgrading a defense that didn't live up to expectations. The Bolts are taking that first step by adding another premier pass rusher to pair with Joey Bosa. The Chargers agreed to acquire defensive end Khalil Mack from the Chicago Bears in exchange for 2 draft picks. Chargers are expected to send a second-round pick this year and a 2023 sixth-round selection to the Bears for the 3-time All-Pro defender. So, man, it's a wild week in the NFL.
And enormous names, isn't it? Every one of them just enormous names. He's one of them, and, obviously makes a lot of money, so it'll be a big hit on the Chargers cap. But he's a good player, and sometimes you just got to reach out there and do what it takes.
Well, he's been fantastic for the Bears, but it's a bad team.
Yeah, I agree.
And the other thing is there a rooting interest in Calgary for the NFL? Is it the Denver Broncos? Is there one team that...
Probably more the Seahawks.
Is that right? Huh?
Because for all the years, we got all the Seahawk games on TV ever since they've been there through the Spokane affiliate. So we've seen all of the Seahawk games, and there's a lot of interest in them. There is some in Denver and also in Arizona, because a lot of people go to Arizona. But the Seahawks, because we've had their games since day one on Spokane TV. So, it's not unheard of that people just fly to Vancouver, drive to Seattle for a game. So
yeah, well, we have a lot of Seahawks fans watch this show, and they were devastated with the trade.
Yeah.
You get it, right? Russell Wilson gone for a massive bundle to the Denver Broncos. Clearly the rebuild, this is a rebuild, right?
Yeah, it's just amazing. A big name like that, I guess, to me, the hockey parallel, because of his stature and success, almost be like trading Ovechkin, wouldn't it be? An elite star like that, right near the top of his game?
Won a championship not that long ago. Yeah, and is still playing quite well. So that's interesting that it's, in a way, a Seahawks town.
Yeah.
But what the heck was I watching? Maybe it was something I was reading this morning about the minuscule offseason in the National Football League. Even the combine in the States, the NFL combine, I don't think rates a lot. But with free agency coming up here and these big names, as you say, on the move. And why do you think that is? It's like, for instance, the CFL, we've been talking about these one-year contracts for some time, but if you really look at it in the NFL, they move around quite a bit there, too.
I think that's it. Once you get past the first tier of elite stars making all the big money, you're right, a lot of guys do move, and, the parts of the roster are in constant flux, so you're right about that. But this year's unusual. It is the highest headline makers that have been moving, or a lot of them.
In the chat, Darren Workman, watching in Salt Lake City, Utah, says, I disagree with Mark on this count. There is huge interest in spring football in the U.S. If you look at attendance and TV numbers for the 2020 XFL and even the unadvertised Spring League were great. Over to you. How do you feel
the numbers? I guess I know. I understand the 2020 league was canceled because of COVID. I get that. So just show me the numbers. He might be right. Maybe there's a new untapped market out there we don't know about. Show me the numbers. Show me the attendance. Until I see it, I will remain very skeptical.
We're having a lot of fun today. I knew we would with our good friend Mark Steven down here. Jack Fulton, whom you know, Jack, watching in Vulcan, Alberta, says, Mark is the GOAT in the world of sports broadcasting and the voice of the hometown Calgary Stampeders. Wayne Grollo says, Mark, I have to say, I love your chapeau. That's a hat for those that don't know.
It's not strictly for aesthetics. If I took it off, you'd understand why it's on. So,
gotcha. Ryan McCarthy in New York watching says, I think the USFL could work this year because March Madness will be done by then. Their biggest issue will be the quality of play, but hopefully that'll be cleaned up by mid-season. From Cine Girl watching in Pittsburgh, Cynthia, she says, am I the only one that walks around singing this jingle all day? Can't wait to visit Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in July. You want to hit the jingle again, guys? Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Everybody loves it. It's very catchy. The hotel manager's brother wrote and recorded the jingle and the song.
Okay.
From BW watching on YouTube, what does Mark think of a Canadian Arena League of football on the Canadian prairies? Would you support it?
Well, I'd support it. Yes, it'd be nice to see. But I think it would be a real tough sell. First of all, the stadiums and arenas are occupied a lot with hockey, so where would you play? Arena football's had a tough time maintaining a constant foothold. It's got some strong markets. I mean, I'd like to see it, but I'm not sure it would work. But
well, I'm of
somebody
the
wants
mind,
to take a shot at it. I guess.
Well, I'm of the mind more jobs the better for players, coaches, staff, whatever. Because I'd long had a dream myself of a prairie league. So the teams would travel by bus. I mean, you can get from Winnipeg to Calgary. The junior teams do it all the time, up to Edmonton, play in these indoor arenas in the spring where literally we have nothing else going on.
I guess I'm not going to rule it out. Somebody's got to try it. It won't be me, but somebody's got to give it a shot. But I think there's obstacles, but I guess we shouldn't just write it off. Right?
There is, from what I understand, a movement afoot on this. That's all that I want to say to make this happen, but it's very much in the preliminary stages. By the way, it is a Football Friday, but one thing we're going to be doing a little later on that we do every Friday with our exclusive betting partner, Bet Regal, it is the game of the weekend. I want you to pick, not just tonight, but any game, the featured game for you, and I need you to pick the winner. We bungled it up last week. Ron Thompson of Calgary won the prize package from BetRegal.ca. He actually picked Colorado to beat the Flames Saturday night. It was the other way around, but we picked Ron to win. We need you to correctly pick the winner. Doesn't need the score or the point spread or anything like that. But you can start playing now. You can text in 902-518-3033. That's 902-518-3033. Your featured game. We'll sift through the entries throughout the weekend and tell you who the winner is on Mondays. Because tonight, 4 NHL games tonight, including the Winnipeg Jets at the Islanders, a bunch of WHL games, which you can actually bet on, and NLL too, if I may, which we'll talk about a little later on. But, Mark, it's Saskatchewan-Calgary NLL in the Dome on next Thursday night. You've probably seen all the advertisements for it, right? The St. Patrick's Day clash.
They've done a fabulous job marketing the Calgary Roughnecks in Calgary, carving out a niche, so they've done a good job. But they're in a little trouble. Things have not gone their way this year, so that's a very...
Record-wise, you mean?
Yeah, record-wise, yeah.
Same as Saskatchewan, too. They're at the San Diego tonight, second of a 3-game season series. It was a brawl-filled game the last time they played. The featured game of the week is tonight on TSN, Albany at Halifax. When you say they struggled on the field, sure, but I was at the last game against Vancouver, and that one was on TSN. Huge crowd. They love the Roughnecks here.
Very much. Calgary, because of the Roughnecks, has become much more of a lacrosse destination and center.
Is that right?
Yeah, minor lacrosse, they got about 4,000 people who are registered. It's really taken off, and the Roughnecks can take a lot of credit for that.
While I have you here, Mark, and again, viewers, you chime in with whatever you want. Darren in Salt Lake says the Chargers made a good deal compared to the Broncos selling their future for a good quarterback. So, again, all the topics are on the table. What's shaken up the NFL offseason is the trade, the Russell Wilson trade, Aaron Rodgers staying in with the richest deal in NFL history. When's the last huge CFL trademark, in season or out of season, that you can remember? Like blockbuster. It's been a few, right?
Yeah, there's been some.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Zach Claros.
Right.
That's
but there's a trade deadline trade.
That's the greatest trade deadline deal in CFL history.
Wow.
Because
that didn't take you long.
No, there's two that I was contemplating. The Ricky Ray trade was the other one, but that's a few years ago now. I mean, Toronto got 2 Grey Cups out of that, too, so we can't lose sight of that. I can tell you who they beat in both games, too. But anyway.
How about that?
So, number 1, Caleros. Number 2, Ricky Ray. At least in the modern era. You can go way, way back. I mean, I can take you back to the 50s and 60s if you want, but we'll stay in the current era. Those are the two for me.
Well, when you consider the Russell Wilson trade, that's on par with the Ricky Ray trade, right, for big name. Zach, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he was going to do what he did. I thought he was done. Didn't we all think he was done?
Yes, so got to give Toronto credit for getting him back in shape and back playing. They're able to play. Yeah. I'm with you. I really had my doubts, but he's taken full advantage of it, and consecutive Grey Cups, and that's the best trade, at least in recent CFL history.
Yeah, well, and with the Tillman thing, to be honest with you, that might have sealed his fate. He went on to work in Hamilton after that, but people still think that Edmonton never recovered after that.
No, they haven't. Right? Oh, I guess they shouldn't say. Let's put it this way. It's been a while since they've been a consistent winner. They did win in 15 with Ricky Ray, but...
Yeah.
Excuse me, with Mike Riley. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they did recover, yes, but it was ground shaking. It took them a long time to recover.
I agree.
And they did it with a different regime.
Bingo.
After
Yes,
Tillman,
yes.
Hervey and Chris Jones. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, what about Henry Burris to Hamilton?
Yes, that was big, but what did that turn Hamilton was good, and they did make it to the one Grey Cup in Saskatchewan, so I don't want to say there was nothing to it, but that was a big one, so I don't want to dismiss it. Yeah, that's fair.
It's not a fight. It's a discussion. That's what we do here every day. The View for sports fans. That's what we do.
Yeah. I remember Henry. That was an important one, too, and Calgary got Kevin Glenn, and he took them to a Grey Cup in 12, so...
Just before we break, as a matter of fact, I'll read some comments. We'll bring Mark back a little later on.
Sure.
Thanks, Mark. I hope you're having fun.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we'll fill up the coffee here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We'll let Mark adjourn and get ready for our next guest that'll be joining us via video chat, Tory Gurley, our NFL insider. But from the chat, John in Edmonton says, the NLL needs a team in Edmonton again. I think the NLL would disagree. That's why they don't have a team in Edmonton anymore, was the sad attendance up there. That's why they moved. Renata, watching on YouTube, says the home record for the Stamps over the years has spoiled us here in Calgary. Nobody's arguing that.
Yeah.
Nobody's arguing that. Aaron B. on YouTube says, I'd love to hear Rod talk more about the CPL, but I know he doesn't love soccer. That's Canadian Premier League, but they have the team here, the Cavalry, right? They play at Spruce Meadows, so I intend to take in some of their games. So never say never. I just haven't had a team in my backyard yet until now. So those are some of the comments coming in from the viewers, and we'll sprinkle them in throughout the program. And again, our Bet Regal featured game of the weekend contest is now open. Pick a game, the game you'll be watching the most. We need you to pick the winner of it, and we'll sift through the entries on Sunday and tell you who the winner is on Monday. You'll win a very splashy prize package from our friends at Bet Regal, which includes bunny hugs, hats, you name it, trinkets. We'll be talking more NFL when we come back. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. Also live streaming on YouTube. And if you've missed any portion of the show, catch the podcast on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It's the gateway to the foothills. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. That's where we're broadcasting live from on this Football Friday. By the way, the CEBL champions are taking on the Americas live in Calgary. The Canadian Elite Basketball League champion, Edmonton Stingers. You can catch them live here next week. The Basketball Champions League Americas, known as the BCLA. It's the best continental league in the Americas. It's created through an innovative partnership between FIBA, national federations, and pro basketball leagues. It's coming to Calgary now next week. The Edmonton Stingers, as mentioned, will be in action as the BCLAs come to Calgary's Winsport Arena, the home of Hockey Canada, March 14th to the 16th. Get your tickets now at cebl.ca. And there's a news conference at the Westin this afternoon with the teams, the Stingers. I'll be down there, and we'll see you at Winsport next week. Again, get your tickets, cebl.ca. Basketball community buzzing over that. Let's bring in our NFL insider, Tory Gurley, now on a very busy week in the National Football League. Thanks for the time, Tori. And by the way, before we go any further, I've had viewers ask me who your NBA team is, by the way. I don't know if you're a baller that way. Do you have a favorite NBA team?
Well, I pull for the home team, the Charlotte Hornets. We're here in the area. I grew up watching Dale Curry, Alonzo Mourning, and Muggsy Bogues. So, with us being in the Carolinas, it's the Hornets.
All right, good team, a good team to like. I gotcha. They were kind of hoping you'd say the Raptors. Now listen, to the NFL and your good friend Aaron Rodgers signing the richest deal in NFL history. If I may, it seemed to take everybody off guard given the drama that surrounded him the last year and a bit. How did you feel about the move?
I'm happy for him. Whenever you have opportunity to get a new contract in this business and make it fully guaranteed, that's a huge accomplishment for him. The biggest thing is the salary cap. With him taking so much of it, it's going to be hard to keep some of those pieces around you. And if I'm a wide receiver, I'm not happy about a franchise guy, having a franchise tag and playing for $20 million, So Devontae Adams, that kind of messed him up. So we'll see his future in Green Bay, because if I'm a player of him and I'm still in my prime,
Oh, we just lost Tori's audio. Did you get a text, Tori? We lost your audio. You may need to hit refresh there. Or do we have him? He says you're good now? We got you. You're good now. I think we're all happy for Aaron Rodgers. And I'm happy that the drama's over and we don't have to listen to this all winter long. Completely off the board with this question. It's from John in Edmonton. He wants to know if you think, Tori, Toronto should get an NFL team. As an Argos alumni and an NFL veteran, I'd love to know your answer to that.
Yes, I think the fans will love it. I never forget that opportunity when we opened up at BMO Field. We played against Hamilton. It was a sellout crowd, and that was for a CFL game. So if you can bring in an NFL team and you bring in the Aaron Rodgers, the Patrick Mahomes, the Russell Wilsons of the world, people in Toronto and all across North America show up to participate because it's a great event, and the fans in Canada are just amazing.
Amazing answer to that. Very interesting answer to that. Back to the current NFL, I guess. Who won the Seattle-Denver trade for Russell Wilson in your mind, or is it too early to say?
I think it's too early to say, but if I had to lean, I would say Russell, because he's out of Seattle. He's in Denver, but he has a tall task at hand, and now he has to play Patrick Mahomes twice, Justin Herbert twice, and David Carr, and that is a tall task. So we will see, how that plays out, because that division is loaded.
I love your answer. Russell Wilson won the trade, not the Denver Broncos, not the Seattle Seahawks. You're saying he's out of a market that he was obviously done with, and he's gone to a pretty good team. I mean, the sense that I get of the fans of the AFC West is that all the Broncos were missing was a quarterback. You go along with that?
Yeah, Drew Lock was not the guy. Russell definitely is an upgrade at that position. And they have so many skilled players, and they have one of our former teammates, Deontay Spencer. So I'm pulling for Spence to go out there and have a career year so he could get paid.
Jennifer, watching at the Four Seasons, big Packers fan, she says, I agree. Aaron wants to be a part of building a Super Bowl team, but yet he takes more money to limit us in bringing more quality guys. I love my Packers, but I'm scratching my head on that. Okay, so she doesn't support the move. How do you feel about that he's taking up too much of the salary cap himself?
Like I said, I'm happy for him, but it just affects the team. That's the biggest thing. So, but something I'm not going to do is doubt Aaron. If you got to go in there and throw in some, undrafted free agents or some street free agents and make it work, that's the bid you made, because that's what happens when you play in a salary cap sport.
Khalil Mack gone from the Chicago Bears to the Los Angeles Chargers. Carson Wentz gone from Indianapolis to Washington. Does it just seem like this is the wildest offseason of all time, or is it just because we're in it right now?
No, it's different. You're seeing teams be more aggressive. They see the LA Rams have had success with being able to acquire free agents like Jalen Ramsey and Matthew Stafford and Odell Beckham. And now, other owners and general managers are taking that approach because they want to be in a win now situation instead of waiting for draft picks to develop.
Darren in Salt Lake City wants to know, who does Tory feel got more bang for their buck in the trades, the Broncos or the Chargers in each team's recent trades?
I think the Chargers, now, the way you beat Patrick Mahomes, you won't be able to outscore him. But if you can get some pass rushers to get after him and just, make him have to throw the ball away on third down, that's a win. So, I think that's, if I'm in that conference, that's what I'm loading up on, is pass rushers and guys that can, and defensive backs, because those quarterbacks are the best in the NFL.
Tori, we don't have much time left, but I got to ask you, I've not talked to you since Super Bowl, and your boys missed you out there, by the way. It was my first Super Bowl. Everybody's like, where's Tori? Where's Tori? I said, well, he'll get here. He's a new dad. But the Chargers, I think, are looking at the Rams and the defense. The game ended pretty much on an Aaron Donald sack of Joe Burrow. Defense wins. It was a 23-20, pretty low-scoring game. What was your take on the Rams beating the Bengals in that big matchup in L.A.?
Yeah, I mean, everything lined up for them. They got to play at home. I felt like Odell Beckham was going to be the MVP if he doesn't get hurt. Cooper Kupp, he's unguardable, and Matthew Stafford, he showed up in the biggest moment, and I'm just happy for him. So that's a great win. It's great for the NFL to see a big market team win a Super Bowl, and now we get to start this thing all over with free agency and the draft coming up next month.
No, it does not slow down. And listen, I got to talk about Tory Jr. TJ looks to me like he's got a very healthy appetite, Tori. He's putting the miles on. This kid, he hit the ground running. Tory Jr.
Absolutely. He's keeping us up, and I know he and Kim are watching, so I just want to let them know I love them. And I'll be home in a minute. I'm just out here running some errands. And TJ, you'll be on the show soon, so get ready, son.
I can't wait. I'm so proud of you, Tori. Good for you. Thanks for the time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me.
Argos alum as well as Packers and Browns, Tory Gurley, our NFL insider. We'll return with viewer takeover right after this. On the way, longtime Blue Jays broadcaster reporter Mike Wilner to look ahead to the 2022 season with the lockout behind us. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right. A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It's a Friday, Football Friday, and very pleased to be joined by Mark Stephen, the voice of the Calgary Stampeders, here at that place, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, the event center. Bottom right of your screen is going to be rocking tonight. Sold-out show with comedian, female impersonator Bianca Del Rio. She's here. I can't wait to get to that show tonight. It's going to be fantastic. Just a note to our producer, Clark. Clark, did we deem a winner on tickets to Foreigner? I saw Roger Yee in Calgary thanking you. Did we deem him a winner on something yet? Not yet. Okay. I got you. Okay, so Mark Stevens here. And I had to bring Mark in for this segment because I said we got messages for Mark. Mike McTagg watching on Game Plus television in Calgary, which we're carried on Telus Optic cable. Kudos to Mark Steven, longtime Stamps play-by-play guy. I agree with Jack Fulton. Great career. Signed, Mike McTagg, Stamps alumni.
Good to hear from Mike. I talk to him a lot. So
don't they call him Tagger? I
think so. Mike. But good to hear from Mike.
From Rob Tyson.
Financial planner.
Is that what he is?
Yep.
Rob. Ray Elgard's a financial planner in Las Vegas, and I say, what does that entail? Don't go to the casino?
Yeah.
Mind you could win. That's why you're here, yeah. Interesting, by the way, Theo Fleury down here earlier this week, and I said, Theo, how's it feel to be in a casino? And he's like, well, some alarm bells started to go off when I walked in here. But at least he came down.
Yep, good for him.
The beloved Theo Fleury. Rob Tyson watching in Cold Lake, Alberta on Game Plus says, I used to go to Foothills Ballpark to watch the Calgary Cannons. Mark did the play-by-play. Does he have any good stories from those days?
Oh, lots. I mean, the team was here for 18 years. I was employee for 7. So, yeah, lots of great stories about the players that came through here. Edgar Martinez now in the Hall of Fame. Alex Rodriguez played here. Many, many others. Many great moments. It was a great time. Whether we'll ever get something like that back, I'm highly skeptical because...
high-level ball, you mean?
Yeah, that level, AAA. I mean, guys would go, you'd see him on TV or here one day, and next day he'd be on TV, so that's where it was.
Alex Rodriguez is like the most famous candidate.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And Edgar Martinez close. Tino Martinez, who had a long career, played here as well. So, lots of stories. I could do a whole show without taking a break.
Maybe down the road.
Yeah.
I know people love the CFL talk for sure, and you got 2 CFL guys here on this Football Friday. And I bring that up. Tacona Powley in Winnipeg says, Rod, Bombers or Stamps? Who was better in the 80s? Well, if I may, and I don't identify myself as a CFL fan until 1988, but I got to say the Bombers, they won 3 Grey Cups. The Stampeders went through a very tough time in that decade. Right?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, they, there was even SOS campaigns, Save Our Stamps. And there's a very famous picture of Richie Hall, speaking of Winnipeg now there, of him in tears because City Council voted down an aid package. And there was reason to think the then community-owned Stampeders were finished. That's how bad it was. On the field, they did very little. They were parading through coaches at a staggering clip. Some years they'd make the playoffs. Most years they didn't. So I don't think it's close. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the 80s, yes.
Well, I'll tell you something. We don't have a lot of time left in hour 1, but Bob Poley, who played here.
Yep.
Listen, the guys that played here loved it. Maybe they didn't do a lot of winning, but they had a great time.
Yeah.
And Larry Kuharek, they talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute. Why did they... I don't think they liked him. He was just a character, was the sense that I got.
Yeah, he was pretty intense and a little light on personality. And, he was 22 and 22, and that's just the way it was. A little abrupt, but he knew his football. It was just everything else that was
bad teams, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went through a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of everything. So it was
22 and 22. That was his record? You remember that?
Yeah. He was coach for 2.5 years, so... Yeah.
Wow. How about that? So we'll continue with more of that coming up in hour 2. Mark's been gracious enough to stay with us. And by the way, you're hosting tonight. You want to tell our viewers about that?
Yeah, Sports Talk 770 CHQR. We're going to have a lot of fun at 7 o'clock. Got Ken Cowell, the broadcast voice of the Detroit Red Wings on, and a couple of other guests we're working
All right. Sounds good. Hour 2 coming up. Mike Wilner of Blue Jays fame and more with Mark after this on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
He's laughing at the fact I said I still get nervous every time I interview Connor Bedard. I do. I don't care. Who knows? He's 16. I'm 49. I've done thousands of interviews. The kid's eyes just pierce right through you. Oh, boy, I love watching him. It's the biggest reason why this jersey's up here.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the RP Show. It is hour 2. We're coming to you live from the Stage Bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. There's a lot going on, as you see on your screen. The longtime voice of the Calgary Stampeders, Mark Steven, is with us, and I appreciate him doing that, talking sports on this Friday. The Moose is in Arizona doing business. If you looked at his social media, you'd think all he's doing is golfing, but that's what Arizona's for, I guess, and sports. By the way, before we go any further, update from this morning's tiebreakers at the Tim Hortons Briar, because we are live across North America on Game Plus TV, daytime sports talk. They are playing the 8th end, one tiebreaker, the two Saskatchewan teams, Colton Flash leading Team Dunstone 7-3. If you think these two teams don't despise each other, you got another thing coming. Flash leading the tiebreaker 7-3, and it's a final in the other game. Team Wildcard 3, Jason Gunlison beating Manitoba McEwen 9-3. So McEwen out, going home. Gunlison advancing through the playoffs. We have a winner, Roger Yee of Calgary, has won tickets to the Foreigner Show March 19th and 20th here at Grey Eagle. So thank you for playing, Roger. You'll have your pick of nights. And I'm going to jump right back into the talk here with Mark, Steven, and whatever the viewers want to talk about. That's what we love about viewer takeover. By the way, the Major League Baseball lockout is over. They will not miss a game. It was announced overnight, and our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, where do you think the Blue Jays will finish in the American League East this year? First, second, third, fourth, or worse? Last I saw on Twitter, leading the vote is second place. Most of the viewers saying second. Mark has said fourth or worst, so if we can bring Mark back in. I got to do some studying on this, Mark. I got to do some studying on it, but you're saying it's because of the skipper that they will largely be hamstrung.
Yeah. Yankees always strong. Tampa, I don't know how they do it year after year, but they continue to do it, and Boston's always strong as well. So there you are, 1, 2, 3, and somebody's got to be 4. Baltimore is light years behind Toronto, so there's your division.
Light years behind everybody.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that this was all about is right now there's an incentive to finish with a poor record to get higher draft choices. I get the sense that there's no longer going to be an automatic number one pick for the worst team. You'll have a shot. It's much like the NHL. The worst record does not always get the first pick, so it dilutes the incentive.
So a few things. We have our Bet Regal contest rolling that we do it every Friday, and it's become a lot of fun. You, the viewers, pick the featured game of the night or the weekend that you'll be watching the most. We need you to pick the winner of it. Text into our text line with your prediction today, 902-518-3033. If you pick the winner, you'll win a prize package from Bet Regal, our exclusive betting partner. There are a lot of CFL questions that have come in for Mark and myself. But before we do go much further, the town is jumping. You said it last hour with the Flames. They are literally on fire, pardon the pun, 4-1 over the Tampa Bay Lightning last night. It'll never be enough revenge for the 2004 Stanley Cup final. But how did you feel that game went last night? I thought the Flames outclassed Tampa for about 50 minutes.
Yep, I would agree with that. Johnny Gaudreau was at the top of his game. They played very well. Tampa is a very, very good team. Let's not forget. Could they return to the Stanley Cup Finals again? Sure. I don't think it's out of the question. And Flames are right on top of their game. So let's give them full credit. Tampa still is very good though, and they're going to win more than their share of games down the stretch here. But no, Flames are very good. They came off a tough game against Washington. I'm not trying to make excuses here, but they're in the middle of a brutal schedule right now. Last night was the first of a 3-4. They played Detroit tomorrow and in Denver on Sunday. So they've had a whole bunch of games before that. So maybe the Washington, they were a little flat, but they came right back.
Well, I appreciate your help with us, with the program here, and all the people of Alberta. I'll tell you something. The Flames wrote me yesterday, and because they hadn't had room in the press box the past few games, so I bought tickets, and so they got back to me yesterday, and they said, "Rod, we got room in the press box if you want to come." And I'm like, "Sorry, what?"
Yeah,
I was stunned. I said, "I got tickets for the game, but thanks, maybe down the road." And when you say the grueling schedule, Daryl said it after the game last night. He goes, "I think it's more mental than physical." That's what he said. I don't know. They're winning. So
well, he's won 2 cups. I don't want to disagree with him too much.
But I love it because they're playing every night.
Yeah. Well, they are playing an awful lot. Daryl's done a really good job. Here's one thing, nobody talks about it here. They've only used 8 defensemen all year. That's the lowest in the league by far. He's done a great job at spreading out their minutes, so I'll give him that, and a lot of guys have had record seasons. I just hope it doesn't catch up with them, which is why I think they're going to be looking at a couple of depth defensemen. They've got a couple of guys that are in the system, but they don't seem to want to play them. So that's where I think they're going, because the schedule right now, it's worked out for them, but it's a long grind. If everything goes the way the Flames think it's going to go, they'll be playing hockey 3 months from today. Yeah. That's still a long time away. So who knows? It's worked out so far. And there's a lot of things that have gone right for the Flames this year. And, they got a lot of talent. They've been relatively injury-free, too. That's one thing. Their top 2 lines, I think those guys have missed, combined about 5 games total. So,
well, more than anything, Daryl knows what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And I would credit the therapy staff for what you just said, the lack of injuries. Yeah. But also, I just look at Gaudreau. Daryl was so hard on him because he knew what he was capable of. That's all.
Yes.
And now he's getting it out of him.
Yep.
You
Bingo.
know?
That's exactly it. Playing both ends. And as I said earlier in the show, he's a Hart contender and keeps scoring 3 or 4 points a game. He could take over the scoring lead.
Tacona in Winnipeg watching says, as a Jets fan, I'll say it, the Flames are the best team in Canada right now and the best shot. That's very exciting. Very exciting for Calgary and for the Flames fans. So we'll turn it to football because it is a football Friday here. There are a few. Aaron B. watching on YouTube says, why haven't the CFL and CFLPA jumped on the labor talks right away? Last thing the CFL needs is any kind of lockout. I think the reason they haven't is, from what I've heard, Adam Bighill's on that executive of the Players Association, and he said this isn't going to be a contentious thing. I don't think they're worried that they're going to get it done.
Could not agree with your texter there more. I think it's awful that the two of them haven't sat down. There's a lot of issues here. Look, the teams have, some legitimate concerns. 2020 no football. Last year was an abbreviated season. And in some jurisdictions, they were capacity limited. So they took a lot of red ink. The players took the brunt of this as well. So I don't want a baseball-style last-minute negotiation where everybody tries to paint the other guy into a corner and squeeze them for the last dime. Each needs the other. I'm floored they haven't sat down. And Randy Ambrosie's making a tour of all CFL cities. It starts here next week. And Randy, if you're watching, I can tell you what question number one is. When are you getting it done? Why haven't you met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I think Mark and I work very well together, it doesn't mean we're always going to agree. I go with what Big Hill said. This isn't going to be that contentious. I hope he's right.
Yes, he's an important vote, but he's one vote.
Yeah.
And I understand he's in a leadership position, so I'm not going to completely disagree with him, but if it's not contentious, then do it.
Jason in Red Deer. Mark, what is your favorite play call that you've ever called?
Probably the one that was the most exciting and just built. It was in the 14 West final. John Cornish took a handoff, went 78 yards. He bounced through everybody. I think he hit everybody in Edmonton at least once on the play. So that was a lot of fun. There's been a lot of them. That's one that kind of stands out. It was really a remarkable run and, got the Stampeders untracked in that game, and they went on to win the Grey Cup.
Honestly, my mind just went somewhere when he said that. You'll remember the play. Last play, West semifinal 2012.
That's up there, yeah. Drew hits a Robbie Bryant. Yeah, that's right up there, too. That's right up there, too. And, there's been a lot of game-winning field goals. Rene Paredes has kicked many through the years. But probably the one play, the Drew Tate play is a close second, but the John Cornish run.
David in Winnipeg. David Ice writes in and says, when will the Stampeders get a new stadium? Bump, bump, bum.
Not a long time away is all I can say. It's a university product or owned by the university. They're going to do nothing more than just maintenance. That's it. I don't know. It's a very, very frustrating topic. I can't lie to you. When I go to all of the new stadiums or newer stadiums, such as Winnipeg, such as Saskatchewan, such as Hamilton, it's really frustrating. There's no real champion to get a new stadium built. I'm frustrated.
As far as we know, yeah, absolutely. And then the Flames arenas, who knows with that too. But I'll say this, at the Saddle Dome last night, again, I was with the fans, and I loved it last night. And, of course, you and I talked when we had lunch last time. I'm a different person from the last time I was in Calgary regularly, college and so forth. I'm like, Thursday night, people are just getting snookered here. Like, what's going on? It's a Thursday night. Just fine. Yeah. Then I realized, well, there was a time, Rod, that you would be right. Could have been Monday. But those bathroom lineups were long, but they were moving. McMahon doesn't have that, but Saddle Dome's still got I feel, the creature comforts of the new arenas. The concourses are a little narrow for their liking. It's still a great barn.
It's functional.
Yeah.
It may be functional plus.
McMahon's not that.
Functional, no. No, I agree.
Still a great barn, or a great place for football, though.
Between the goal lines, with seat backs, I think it's as good as it gets with view of the field. But it's everything else that needs renovation.
A lot of the things that people don't see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like Taylor Field. Who was I talking to? Oh, it was Fairholm. Jeff Fairholm was down here. As you know, he lives in Calgary. He said how much he loved Taylor Field. He said, I know it's a dump, but I love it. I'm like, well, Jeff, you didn't have to go to work there every day.
Yeah.
Especially, that was 30-some years ago that he played there. You know yourself how bad it was.
For all the issues of McMahon, let me just say this. Taylor Field at the end and the current Montreal are miles behind McMahon. Both of them. That's my take.
Yeah, I would agree. Darren in Salt Lake City. He's had a lot of questions today.
Do you want to know about curling? I want to know, what does the guy sitting in Salt Lake think about Saskatchewan versus the wild card?
Well, I know.
We'll find out, I guess.
Darren says, Rod, what are Mark's feelings about CFL teams trying to reach out to their fan bases in the offseason, like the Red Blacks doing their Behind the R series, and also the moves of the new Elks president? How do you like the new, more fan-friendly Canadian football?
Go for it. Sure, why not? I've seen those specials. They're tremendous. The Edmonton Elks president certainly seems to be a real ball of fire, reconnecting that team to the community. So whatever you can do, why not? Because the CFL is dominant for roughly 6 months and then, kind of goes into the background a bit for a few months. So sure, go for it. It's great.
Greg, with 2 G's, watching on YouTube, says, not sure if you had heard this, but the MLS has surpassed the NHL as the 4th most watched sports league in the USA. Is this bad news for the NHL? Holy smokes. Could I get into that one?
Nah. If it's head-to-head markets, maybe, but in different seasons, different markets, I don't have.
Post the link. Send me the link. I'd like to see the stats.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, I will say this. I'm sitting in the Saddle Dome last night in the sea of red, and I'm thinking, this is so awesome. The restrictions are gone. It was a party, as I say. And I look at Florida, where the Panthers, where I'll be headed in a couple of weeks, and I'll be there for a good measure of time. They don't have this. Mm-hmm. Even with one of the best teams in the NHL, they struggle to get coverage. When I say why I was stunned that the Flames reached out to me and said, Rod, we have room for you tonight if you want to come. Canadian NHL teams don't do that. You know what I mean? What?
I hear you what you're saying.
But in Florida, no, but I'm telling you, I never did tell you this. With the Panthers, when I first started going there in September, they said, Rod, what do you need? How can we help you? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And she said, nobody asked to interview us. Nobody covers us down there. And even just now, they're getting some front page coverage in South Florida as this tremendous hockey team. But guess what? There's not a lot else going on right now. Dolphins aren't playing. Heat aren't very good. So now I'm just saying that the NHL struggled before, and now if in the States, and if the MLS is now significant competition to them. I know what you're saying. Like maybe in Orlando, viewership's high because they have a team there, right? Yeah. I'm not sure I believe it, but I don't know if the NHL's growing in America. Is my sense.
Hard to say, yeah, but I'd like to break down some of those figures. Yeah, I hear you. Then might be different ways to look at it, but I'm not writing it off. MLS has a great base, but I'd like to see the figures.
Another one, by the way, I must mention, and I said to Mark how much there is going on in this particular area, this part of the province. The Hitmen are on the road. I should look at tonight's Western Hockey League games. The Hitmen are at the Moose Jaw Warriors. The Regina Pats and Connor Bedard are home to Lethbridge. Winnipeg Ice at Brandon. Medicine Hat at Red Deer. Edmonton at Swift Current. Blades at PA. Vancouver at Tri-City. And Victoria at Prince George. 7,500 at the Hitman game the other day, including the Hitman himself. Yeah. On that, well, it was Bret Hart Day, so he had to be, but they love their junior hockey here too, eh?
Hitmen have done a really good job of appealing to a hockey market, minor hockey players, minor hockey things. Yeah, they're one of the top drawing teams all across the CHL. They've, separated themselves from the Flames, who are in a different strata than they are. Have done a really good job, and it's a very well-run franchise.
It's what you would want at a junior hockey game. I saw tons of kids, little girls in pigtails and their Hitman jerseys. That's what you want. Right?
Absolutely. No, and I went to the first time Connor Bedard was through here. I went there, and that's exactly what it was. It was a loud, noisy stadium, but so what? Who cares?
By the way, I had Connor on yesterday. Yeah. Very quickly, the jersey over the shoulder. This is going to the Grey Eagle Golf Tournament reluctly. I don't want to give it up.
I can see why, yeah.
What a beautiful jersey. What did you think of Bedard?
Oh, amazing. That one goal he got, the one between the legs there, we were right there, just out of camera frame is where we were, my son and I. And it was unbelievable. The place when he scored that goal stopped. I don't think anybody knew what they saw. And then all of a sudden people started to murmur and say, oh my goodness, what was that? So, no, I'll be blunt. I was highly skeptical of bringing a 15-year-old thousands of miles away to Regina just because it wasn't home. I really had my doubts. I don't know him as a person, but, he is very young. But hockey-wise, he fits right in. He's amazing. I don't know how he's fitting in, adapting as a young man, 16 years old, but nonetheless, it's impressive. So my skepticism level has dropped.
He's one of the most mature players on that team, maybe in the whole league. That's the other thing.
Good.
And I was at Super Bowl that weekend when the Pats were here. They were talking about the goal down there, and people had it on their phones. What a time to be alive. Back with more with Mark Steven, taking some of your questions and comments, and Mike Wilner coming up from the Toronto Star to talk Blue Jays baseball because they're back. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Gotta shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact The Rod Pedersen Show today.
Football Friday continues. We are live across all 10 provinces on Game Plus television in 31 U.S. states. Live streaming on YouTube. And you can always listen to rodpedersen.com/listen live. If you look there, you just saw the ad on the wall for Bianca Del Rio. She's performing tonight, female comedian. And I'll be in attendance in the sold-out show. Congratulations to Roger Yee, by the way, for winning our Foreigner contest for tickets to the shows coming up March 19th and 20th. And our betregal.ca contest is live now. Text us throughout the program today, 902-518-3033. Pick your featured game of the weekend and pick the winner. And if you are correct, we will randomly select a winner for a prize package from our sponsors at betregal.ca. Bo Halverson writing in, he says, a Colton Flash 9-5 win. 9-5 over Team Dunstone in the tiebreaker at the Briar. Mark was chuckling at my enthusiasm on that. You know why I was following this.
Oh, yeah, I get it. It's the Briar. Big Canadian event.
Just down the road in Lethbridge.
Yep.
Sports update out of Singapore. Brazil's John Hands of Stone Lineker knocked out Brazilian-Canadian Bibiano the Flash Fernandez to win the ONE Championship bantamweight title this morning in the co-main event of the ONE Lights Out Mixed Martial Arts card. That's the MMA association founded by Victor Cui, president of the Edmonton Elks, and that's why I wanted to put that in there. So it wasn't like it was a morning card. It just happened our time this morning. In Lausanne, Switzerland, the Russian Olympic Committee made an urgent appeal today to overturn a ban on its athletes competing at a European Winter Sports Festival in Finland. The Court of Arbitration for Sport said it was setting a timetable for the case ahead of the Winter European Youth Olympic Festival being held from March 20th to the 25th. And Tyler McGregor had 4 goals and 2 assists to help Canada's Paralympic hockey team advance to the gold medal game of the Beijing Games. Billy Bridges had a hat trick as Canada routed South Korea 11-0 in a semifinal today. Canada will play the USA or China for gold on Saturday. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. For the Tap Brewhouse and drive-thru liquor store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. So Russia's fighting back, Mark, on their bans for worldwide sporting events. Are we surprised by that?
No, but I do feel for some of the athletes that are kind of trapped in the middle, but this is just where we are. This is the reality, and it's going to impact some athletes, going to impact some people. If this is still going on, what does the NHL do with visas for players next year? Canadian and play in Canada, play in the United States? I don't know. But, this is far bigger than sports and the Youth Olympics or whatever it is.
But to be honest with you, it is bigger than sports, but that's what people don't understand. It's still their job. It's like this Major League Baseball lockout ending. I'm reading up on it. Some of the players didn't have their visas in order yet. So now they're scrambling to travel to spring training and so forth. So while people say it's just sports, it's their livelihood.
Yeah, I understand. I get it. It's a very tough situation. I mean, but until this thing is over with, there's going to be increasing sanctions and squeeze on anybody associated with Russia.
Couple of our partner mentions. Hour 2 of the RP Show is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer. Great Western, the best beer in the game. Rod's rants are for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Reach us at 306-781-2090 for any and all of your water softener needs. Mark usurped the Rod's rant today, saying the Blue Jays are going nowhere with Charlie Montoyo as their skipper. I
didn't mean to take that from you.
No, I could take a day off. Trust me, I'm okay with that. And by the way, Tough Tribe for Men has made the road trip. Tough Tribe for Men men's hair products contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants, traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits. We are part of the clean beauty industry. Welcome to Clean Beauty for Men, available today at Tough Tribe for Men. That's the number 4, toughtribeformen.com, and Amazon Canada. By the way, you see this lovely Bo Levi Mitchell jersey adorning the set just over my left shoulder. I see Bo's back in town because I see on Instagram a photo from his daughter's hockey game. From what I understand of the people around Bo, he has really embraced Calgary to the point where they're saying that he might be on the TSN panel whenever he's done. That might be 10 years from now.
Yeah, who knows?
Did you see him not being a coach? being more of a broadcaster, or could do whatever he wanted? He's one of those guys.
Yeah, one of those guys. I mean, I could see him being a coach because football is what he loves. It's pretty much all not all, but it's occupies a substantial portion of his time. And I could see both, yeah, I would say. But, Bo Baldwin is coach at Eastern Washington. Might get him into coaching. Now he's now at another school. He brought J.C. Sherritt in. So I don't know. He's got a lot of ways to go. But hopefully that's not a decision for down the road.
A while.
Few years.
But I get it. But I can't remember who I was with the other day, and they said Bo has his eyes on that TSN spot, and I said I didn't know there was a TSN spot.
Well, that's just it. Just wait a few years. I mean, I don't know what the panel will look like in 3 years, 5 years. I don't have a clue. So see what happens when it happens.
Where do you? I know I asked you this the last time you were on, and I think I wrote it down. I'd have to go through my notes because you made your West Division predictions.
Yep.
Did you not the last time?
Yep.
Refresh my memory, Mark.
Winnipeg, Calgary, Saskatchewan, Edmonton, BC.
Okay, thank you. Bombers because you're the best until somebody proves otherwise.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's they are 2-time. Can they make it 3? I don't know. It's rare, but I wouldn't say it never.
Well, and Huff has come on and said on this show that they went through a mini rebuild and nobody really noticed. This was the youngest roster you guys had fielded in years.
Yep.
And he was happy to just make the playoffs.
Yep.
So this is the year to take
the
next step.
They were really good in the second half last year. Ran into some tough, choppy waters in the playoff game against Saskatchewan. I mean, Rennie Paredes, who was fantastic all season long, had his one-off game of the year, and that was the one.
As you know, Mark Killam was on with us last Friday, the special teams coordinator, and he said that Rennie Paredes is very close to retiring, but he couldn't have left under that.
Yeah.
What, he missed 3 in the playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming
4 all season, and then 3, until that game, So it was way uncharacteristic.
The other sense that I got from both Marks when they were down here, Mueller and Killam, is that the Elks, not like they weren't your top rival, but they darn sure are now. 5 meetings this year before the playoffs even happen.
Preseason and then 2 in each building. It'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Do you want to go out on a limb and say what you see for the Edmonton Elks this year? Because, obviously, I've become a Jones guy. You knew him long before I did because he was here. But you know how he operates.
Yeah, well, first of all, if he stays within the lines, maybe he'll be okay. They're not, I don't know. He's going to certainly tear the roster apart, and he should. I mean, he's taking over a team. Don't know what their quarterback picture is. It's nice they've got a big receiver. Who's going to get him the ball? I don't know. I guess I would just look at the Saskatchewan model when he was 3 years. The first year was not good because he was doing a lot of rebuilding and evaluating. I don't know if that's going to be the case in Edmonton. So for that reason, until I get a better feel of them, I'm a little reluctant to endorse them wholeheartedly.
Well, it's funny what you say about the Saskatchewan thing, and we talk about it and we think about it all the time. The Jones era.
Yep.
I've never really said this on the air, and people have said you should save it for a book. But with Jones, the knock on him is that he can't find a quarterback. And he doesn't have a marquee guy now yet in Edmonton that he couldn't find and develop one.
Yeah,
you know what
fair.
I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think he went out and signed Zach Collaros in free agency in 2017.
Yep.
But for what I'll just say football gods, Zach couldn't get on the field when it mattered most there. But then he goes to Winnipeg and leads them to back-to-back Grey Cups. Like, what? How do you explain that? So Jones found his guy.
Yeah.
He just wasn't healthy.
Yeah. Hard to say, but so we'll see what he does. Obviously he has sort of an up and down time in Saskatchewan, but we'll see if the same rules and everything applies because he's got full control there.
But it's going to be an amazing summer.
Yep.
Right, of CFL football with some wild storylines.
Yep, no question. It'll be a lot of fun. And back to a full normal season. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, all 18 games, but I'm not quite done on this yet because for whatever reason, Jones has been firing these pot shots at Cody Fajardo's feet. And I don't know, or just in front of his feet. I don't know if that's...
Like, what's that all about? Haven't you got enough to worry about? A 3-11 team? I was shocked when I saw that. None of your business.
I have no idea why he's doing... But you also know him because you worked with him firsthand. He doesn't care.
Well, I think that's the issue, It's. I would hope that somebody from the Elks board of directors just pulled him over and said, we got enough to worry about here. Let Saskatchewan be Saskatchewan,
Well, but It seems to me like Victor Cui and Jones might be cut from the same cloth a little bit, and Victor's like, hey, you go ahead and say whatever you want. Just stir it up.
I thought it was a little out of bounds, but we'll move on, I guess, right?
Well, I just got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't. You see the pressure on one Cody Fajardo in the Wheat Province this year.
Yep.
And you were calling the game here. Did you see when he was losing it on his receivers on the sideline? Yep. What did you think when that was going? I found that very out of character.
I agree. I think he had some things to repair, relationships to repair. So it wasn't a good look.
And where do you see the BC Lions fitting in? Because they've been in no man's land since Wally left.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
You got them 5th. And that's not because they're going to be terrible. They're just in a very tough division, I would assume.
And that's the point. But it's a noble experiment to bring in these two promising young quarterbacks. But, combined, how many passes have they thrown? And they're going to be throwing right into the fire. And I promise you, the Stampeders aren't going to take it easy because they've got two young quarterbacks there on them, and neither will anybody else. So I'm skeptical till I see this work. I guess we'll find out. Stampeders play them in the first preseason game, but that's the reason that I have them last. They've got some good pieces elsewhere. I like TJ Lee in the secondary. I think he's very good. We talked earlier in the program about their linebacking core, which I like very much. Brian Burnham is one of the top receivers in the league, but just at the most crucial position, I don't think they have the experience.
It's a major roll of the dice.
Sure
I guess
it is.
It's
You bet it is.
appropriate that we're broadcasting from a casino and to be talking about that. But just a couple more minutes left with Mark, and then we'll bring in Mike Wilner. And whatever your last words are, as John Lynch has the last word. I'll get you yours, Mark. But Danny Austin was on here yesterday talking about the Argos in Toronto, and he's a Toronto guy, as you know, and he thinks it's beyond repair. How did you feel?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I would love it if they could get York University up to CFL standards. They've got a stadium there, build it, because I think there is a CFL market in Toronto. It's just not downtown. The GTA supplies innumerable players to the CFL, obviously because of the population, but also per capita. And they service a lot of the schools in Ontario. So I think there is a Canadian football market there. It's just not downtown where they're immediately compared to the guys down the street, the Raptors, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Blue Jays, and everything. Get out of downtown and make it more of a suburban team. I think that's the only hope. I'm with you. It's frustrating to watch those itty-bitty crowds at some of their games there.
Well, and the last point, I don't know if you heard Tori Gurley's answer last hour. I was shocked when the viewer said, Tori, what do you think about the NFL in Toronto? And Tori goes, I'd support it. It'd be great. BMO was great when it was filled. I don't support it. I don't.
No, for a lot of reasons. First, in Toronto, they get all bug-eyed about this. First, they look at the Sky Dome. I don't call it Rogers because the guy tried to kill the CFL. The Sky Dome, and they say, it's a nice practice facility. Where's the stadium? That's what they'd say to a Toronto NFL team. Prospective NFL team. It's not up to standards. So that's one. Be billions upon billions of dollars. You don't think there aren't lots of markets in the United States clamoring for a franchise? I mean,
or around the world.
Yeah, and not Toronto. So I don't know why they keep bringing this up. That Toronto's just, Roger Goodell gets up every morning and says, we're one day closer to getting Toronto in the league. No, he doesn't. And
he said the opposite, actually.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so it's Toronto. Let me put it this way. Didsbury, Alberta will be in the NFL before Toronto because there's no land acquisition costs. You can build a new stadium out there. So
there you go. Write it down.
When will Didsbury be in the league? Never.
Big chuck wagon community, though, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Nice place. But
Mark, this has been fantastic. We'll see you at the buffet.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. I've really enjoyed it, and thanks to all the viewers and listeners.
The voice of the Calgary Stampeders from AM 770 CHQR, Calgary, Mark Stephen. We'll be right back and talk a little Blue Jays with Mike Wilner after this break. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, live streaming on YouTube, and if you missed any of the show, you can always catch on your favorite podcast platforms, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back. With special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
RPShow continues on a Football Friday, but we're switching gears a little bit because there will be a Major League Baseball season. Players have voted to accept management's latest offer for a new labor deal, paving the way to end a 99-day lockout and salvage a 162-game regular season. Owners were unanimous in their approval of the package, which still needs ratification by all players. And here to talk about how that affects the Toronto Blue Jays and all the wonderful fans across this country and around the globe is Mike Wilner. You know him, you love him, longtime Blue Jays broadcaster, writer, podcaster. Hey, Mike, happy New Year. How did you feel when the news came down that they're saying play ball?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. You know, if you tune into the latest edition of my podcast, which came out yesterday, really bad timing. We recorded it Wednesday night, and it looked pretty bleak. It looked like once again the owners had pulled the football away, Lucy style, And they got so close on Wednesday, but then all of a sudden they threw the international draft into the mix, and that sort of blew it up. Same way that they added another, oh, by the way, let's talk about this, on February 28th when they got so close after midnight. And I really thought that we were done until like after Victoria Day, Father's Day, something like that. I would have bet a lot on no chance for 162 games. So I'm very pleased. I'm glad they worked it out. They were so close, and it was such a little amount to be really, really intransigent over. And I'm glad the players made some serious gains, because they should. They're getting the raw end, and they continue to, but it's a little less raw now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not anti-union after a lifetime in the broadcasting business. I kind of wish that we'd had one. So I get it. Believe me, I get it. But before we talk about on-field play, let me just ask you this. Were they cognizant of the damage being done to the sport while this was playing out? Were they hearing what fans and media were saying? Or do you really think they care, Mike?
I don't think the owners care. I do think the players do. I don't think the owners do at all. I think that so many of these... all of them, right? All of the owners of major sports franchises don't live in the real world. They're in their billionaire bubble. They live a life that bears no resemblance to the life that any of the rest of us live, the 99.99% who don't have that kind of money. So no, I don't think they care. I think that they believe the fans will always come back. They don't care as long as they're getting their TV money. And you remember, while during the lockout, over the course of the 99 days, Major League Baseball signed new deals with ESPN and ESPN Plus and Apple TV Plus to broadcast their games. So, no, I honestly don't think they care at all.
To the on-field play, our poll question today is, where do you think the Blue Jays will finish? And the majority voting for second place in the American League East. Well, I'm sure you've made a prediction, Mike. What are you thinking? How would you vote on that?
I wouldn't vote on that, because I'm voting complete right now, because nothing's done, right? The off season was scuttled on December 1st. So teams are still in their building phases. And I think over the course of the next 2 weeks, maybe even the next week, there's going to be a crazy amount of trades and free agent signings, and teams are going to be completely and wholly reshaped. The Blue Jays are in very, 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 very good shape. Right now, they could use a third baseman, and they could stand not to have Randall Grichuk being their designated hitter, which is how it shapes up right now. I wrote an article in the Star today talking about the changes that they need to make and the improvements that they still need. There are about 4 second, third, DH, and fifth starter, but they're very well positioned to be able to do all the things they want to do. I think that last year was just a taste, and we may look at last year and see it as sort of being the 1983 for people who have memories that long. They're about to be the springboard. And now that there's another team in the playoffs, or 6 playoff teams instead of 5, there's really no reason to believe that the Blue Jays won't be in the playoffs every year for the foreseeable future.
Wow, well, that's certainly very optimistic. The Jays fans will love hearing that. By the way, I was reading an article this morning at USA Today about what we can expect when baseball does come back, when the regular season starts, and one of those is the DH. Now in both leagues, they say Shohei Ohtani will be the only pitcher batting in Major League Baseball. That'll be a big change for the NL fans to get used to.
Yeah, and I think a welcome change. Maybe not for some of the older fans. And look, it's fun to see a pitcher get a hit. It is. It really is fun to see a pitcher get a hit. It was amazing to see Bartolo Colon hit that home run 6 or 7 years ago in San Diego. It almost never happens. 90% of pitcher at-bats are useless, a waste of time, and nothing happens. Pitchers coming to the plate they're overmatched. It's terrible. It's no fun to watch. And for all the bleeding about all the more strategy in the National League, what's the strategy? You walk the 8-hitter so you can get to the guy who can't hit and end the inning. It will be much, much, much better to be able to see 9 players in a batting order who actually have a chance. This is a long overdue thing.
Absolutely. It's so nice hearing from you, Mike. So nice seeing you. For the Jays fans now and all of Major League Baseball, now that they're back, where can they follow your stuff if they're watching right now?
Oh, they can find me on Twitter at Wilnerness. They can find me at the star.com and the pages of the Toronto Star. I never know whether it's .com or .ca, but I think it's .com. And of course, please listen to the podcast. I keep finding people who follow me on Twitter who don't know that I have a podcast. We just had our 50th episode. I tweet the hell out of it, and I feel like too much. I feel like it gets to the point where I'm annoying about it, but I still find so many people who don't know about it. So Deep Left Field, go to your favorite podcatcher and find Deep Left Field. This week, we had Susan Waldman on, who is the radio voice of the Yankees, and Aaron Abrams, who is in CTV's Children Ruin Everything and is a fantastic Jays fan. And someday we'll have you on, and things will be, our worlds will collide that way.
DeepLeftField.com. Well, as you know, in this country, you don't have to look far for hockey podcasts left and right, but for good baseball podcasts, this is where you want to check it out. Mike, again, thanks for the time. Good luck with it. Enjoy the season. We'll be chatting down the road here.
You bet, Rod. Thanks for having me.
Blue Jays broadcaster, podcaster, writer, Mike Wilner. We'll be back with Overtime with all of your comments, some contest winners when we return. We're broadcasting live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and of course, you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Number 16,
throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
One more time from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. A chilly morning out here in the foothills, but warming up through the weekend where the sports action's going to get very hot. It is overtime, and we are asking our viewers throughout the program, throughout the weekend, to designate your featured game for betregal.ca and then pick the winner. I'll give you an example of somebody who's watching. Glenn in Medicine Hat writes in, he says, the game of the weekend is the Heritage Classic. Leafs over the Sabres, with the Leafs starting their rookie in net for the win. Starting him, of course, because they have to. There you go. That's Clark chiming in. I like it. So that's Glenn saying, what's the game you are most excited for and who's going to win it? And if you're right, you will win a prize package from betregal.ca, our exclusive betting partner, which incidentally, you can bet on the NLL at BetRegal. And tonight, it's Albany and Halifax. That game's going to be on TSN. Panther City at Colorado. Saskatchewan Rush at San Diego. That can be watched on ESPN Plus and TSN.ca. Saturday, 3 games. New York's at Rochester. Halifax at Georgia. Philadelphia at Buffalo. And Toronto at Vancouver. And Dan Dawson will become the NLL all-time games played leader this weekend for Toronto. We went through the NHL schedule. We've gone through the WHL schedule. We've got Mark's West Division CFL picks. I'm reserving mine. I'm like Mike Wilner, who said it's incomplete. It's incomplete, right? There's still some stuff to come down the pipe in the CFL before all said and done, before training camps open. Jack in Vulcan writes in, says, Rod and Mark, where do you think Nick Arbuckle will end up? Nick Fatty Arbuckle, as I always called him. Mark, you're old enough to remember Fatty Arbuckle, the silent film star. I got in so much hell for calling him Fatty Arbuckle. I'm not saying he's fat. It's just a nickname. You got it. We just said, is he not in Edmonton? Like Mark literally said, I don't know where he's going to end up, but he's under contract with the Edmonton Elks. And I'm sure you know something that we don't, Jack. But that's all we know. I'm going to guess Edmonton. Let's go to a sports update here in the time. Well, we got lots of time left here. Tyler McGregor had 4 goals and 2 assists to help Canada's Paralympic hockey team advance to the gold medal game of the Beijing Games. Billy Bridges had a hat trick as Canada routed South Korea 11-0 in a semifinal this morning. Canada will play the USA for will play the USA or China for gold on Saturday. In the NHL, the surging Washington Capitals are in Vancouver tonight. The Canucks are riding a 3-game win streak and have won 8 of their last 10. Elsewhere, the Winnipeg Jets search for their 3rd straight win as they face the New York Islanders on Long Island. And they're very excited down there in New York. Welcome Chevy home. The former Islanders defenseman, now the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets. The Toronto Raptors continue their 6-game road trip by taking on the first-place Phoenix Suns tonight. The Suns on the NBA's best record of 53-13. And have already clinched a playoff spot. Toronto managed to snap a 3-game slide on Wednesday with a 119-104 victory over the Spurs in San Antonio. Maybe the Moose will take in that game tonight in Phoenix. That's where he is, and that's why he hasn't been with us for most of this week and won't be with us on Monday. Darren Moose DuPont, the president and CEO of DuPont Media, down there doing advanced work for Super Bowl 2023, or we'll be broadcasting live next year. In the NFL, speaking of, the Los Angeles Chargers have reportedly agreed to acquire star defensive end Khalil Mack from the Chicago Bears for 2 draft picks. The Chargers are expected to send a 2nd-round pick this year and a 2023 sixth-round selection to the Bears for the three-time All-Pro defender. NFL free agency kicking off next week, and the commencement of their calendar year beginning next Wednesday. That's when all these trades will reportedly become official and get announced. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. For Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RPShow viewers get 20% off with a promo code RPShow. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Well, that almost concludes our broadcast day. We've got a few minutes left, and I'll turn it over to the viewers here in the full-on viewer takeover. Make it good. BW, I should almost, if I could figure that computer out, I would bring Mark back on because he knows this area far better than me. But BW, watching on YouTube, says Okotoks has a better stadium than Foothills. Oh, that's for baseball. They got a pretty nice hockey rink, too. And I have not written down what tonight's AJHL playoff games are. I think I'm going to take a night off tonight from watching Junior A playoffs and enjoy the Bianca Del Rio show here at the sold-out Event Center. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Chris Jones is probably trying to sign Bernie Kosar.
How about that?
Mark liked that one. Mark sitting on the apron, as they say, the apron of the stage here at Grey Eagle. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, have a great weekend, everyone. Go Pats, go. Regina Pats home tonight to the Lethbridge Hurricanes and Saturday night to the Calgary Hitmen, who are struggling somewhat on this Eastern trip, the Hitmen. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat says, enjoy the weekend. Some people need to listen a little better. Tacona in Winnipeg says, Rod, game of the weekend, Jets versus Blues. Jets will win 3-1 on Sunday. You got to write into the text line because that's where we're tracking it. 902-518-3033. Mark, watching on YouTube, says, Wilner, you need a haircut. Well, as we found out, he's a big COVID, not supporter, but a lockdown supporter. Won't say where we heard it, but he's obviously locked down. He's not cutting his hair. That's his choice. Ryan in Toronto says, what's Mike's take on the universal DH? Well, we got to that. He says it's long overdue. Long overdue. Darren, watching on YouTube, regarding the NFL in Toronto, says NFL franchise sites in the U.S. currently are St. Louis, Oakland, San Diego, San Antonio, and Portland. So you think of all those places ahead of Toronto before the NFL would even consider coming to Toronto, which they're not because they're looking at Mexico City, Europe, and all the rest. Okay, thank you to Mark Steven, Tori Gurley, Mike Wilner. Most of all, you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enter the Bet Regal contest. We'll see you back here Monday at noon Eastern here on Game Plus TV. Who has more fun than us?
How about that? Let's go. Bingo. LFG. I like it. Oh, no. Approved. Right on. Hot take.